Thanks, Stuart. All right, well, how about this story? Democrats announced this week that they are hoping to see the kind of grassroots protests start breaking out at Republican town hall meetings, and that voters would be expressing anger with the GOP push for those big budget cuts like the ones that were outlined in Paul Ryan's plan. So sure enough, guess what happened? Some hecklers turned up at a town hall meeting that was held yesterday by Florida's Republican Congressman Allen West. Watch this. Well, he's a former military man, as you know, and he was saying in that video, "You will not intimidate me." That's what he said to the hecklers in the crowd. It didn't end there, though. One blogger with a camera discovered that one of the hecklers was carried out screaming by the police, and that heckler was, in fact, liberal radio talk show host Nicole Sandler. Take a look.
I'm out of here. Get your hand off of me!
Do not leave.
Get your hand off! Get your hand off of me!
You're under arrest.
Oh my God! I have witnesses here, right?
Oh, boy. So that strategy didn't work out so well in that situation. So will it work for Democrats over the coming months? Joined now by Ben Ferguson, host of The Ben Ferguson Show, and Nancy Skinner, syndicated radio talk show host. Welcome to you both. You know, Nancy, it raises this question, right? You know, when things happen sort of organically, as they seem to have with a lot of senior citizens, primarily during the health care debate, the videos that were taken during those got a huge amount of attention, and they really did, you know, hobble the health care plan in terms of its movement forward. So what we're seeing now here looks somewhat orchestrated, at least in this particular event.
Well, I wouldn't say that this summer's town halls were you know, just all organic, and I would say that this is a great point in contrast between Democrats and Republicans, because last summer the Tea Party, it was all about government-run health care. Well, now with the Paul Ryan plan, what they're talking about is voucher-run health care, where you get $8,000 and that's it. And if you need a heart transplant, sorry, that's rationing to the hilt. So it makes sense that, of course, Democrats are going to look at the comparison. Do you want government-run Medicare, which has been good to you, or do you want an $8,000 voucher and that's it? You're cut off. If you're going to die, you're going to die.
We can address that question in a moment, but I do want to just stick to my first question, because you're talking about the underlying plan, and that's very valid to talk about, of course, but I want to talk about the political sort of strategy here, Ben, in terms of trying to generate the kinds of cell phone video that we saw that really did hamper the health care effort for a while.
Yeah, I mean, after the tragedy in Arizona, what was it the White House was saying, and all other Democrat congressmen? We need to have a civilized debate. Yet now, the same congressmen who are calling for a civilized debate are orchestrating people to go out and protest. I mean, this crazy liberal blogger, let's be honest, this is the most famous she'll ever be for getting arrested, and that's probably what she wanted to do. But this isn't this is not classy. This is not a great debate. This is not a way to act. Yet the Democrats are saying, go out there and do that. Even the president today said, we need to get rid of the sideshows and the circus acts. Well, guess what? His own party is orchestrating sideshows and circus acts when people are having try to have a real discussion with their congresspeople.
Here's what this is going to come down to, though, and here's the question: are the budget cuts like the $6.2 trillion that was put forward by Paul Ryan? You know, is this a good campaign moment, really, for Democrats to seize upon? And will they be able to convince the electorate that cutting spending in these ways is going to be, you know, so detrimental to them and not ultimately benefit the U.S. long term? Nancy.
Absolutely, because this will be the 2012 election. This was the plan that all the Republicans voted for: a voucher program, basically a privatized. You get $8,000 and that's it. And they're going to cut the top tax rate from 35 to 25. So give more rich people more money and take it from seniors. Give them $8 grand and not a penny over that. You tell me how good that is politically for Democrats.
30 seconds
this
to
is
each.
the difference
Go ahead,
between
Ben.
living in Disney World, as Nancy and many others are right now. At some point, you got to pay for stuff. Barack Obama spent $4 trillion we didn't have. Put us $4 trillion more into debt. And the Republicans, who, by the way, won the last election, the majority in the House, got a lot of seats in the Senate, said, we're going to cut this unrealistic spending that eventually will make us go broke, and we got to make tough decisions. So you got two options here. You can either go with the Democrats who say, we don't know how we're going to fund it or where we're going to pay for it or when the coverage is going to stop, or you make tough choices. And I think the American people said, we'll take the tough choices right now instead of living in La-La Land.
Well, we will see. All right, you guys, thank you very much. Nancy Skinner, Ben Ferguson, always a pleasure, guys. Talk to you later.
Thanks for having me.